Looks like while I'm working, Elian's gonna play me music.
Really? Because you know he will.
That thing needs to be tuned up a little
Yeah.
bit. You should let your mom tune that a little.
Mom, tune this.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
So this thing is all the way in the back. You have choices. You can lean over this truck and reach to the back. You can get up on the front on your knees and be in pain to get to the back. Or you can find you a cushion and just get up in here and try to be comfortable. I am not messing with these spark plug wires. I am going to wait until I get this other distributor in here and the other cap on here. And then I'll pull these off of this cap one at a time and put them in the exact same location that it goes on the new one. So I'm going to pull this wire here off of the ignition coil there. They only go back on one way there. Oh, see? There we go. There's our plug. Kind of just want to let that hang and not get damaged. So we're just gonna move this up out of the way until we're ready to switch them wires over. I think I would really like to change this ignition coil out first. Now that I have the cap off, this is a 7mm, very small nut here. Loose enough to do it by hand there. Alright. There we go. That little bitty dude there. It's got that little lock. It's basically a built-in lock washer on there. And this little screw here. We got new ones anyway, so throw them to the side. We got that out. That's awesome. Do the other one. Little tedious little spot right here. All right, cool. Got that one, boy. Just lifts right up like that, and them holes match up right in that bracket here. That's kind of the tight spot I had to work in here. Get them dang screws out there. And it just sits right in there. So that's what we're gonna do with the new one. We're gonna pull this out, slide that new one right back in there. All right, we got that thing bolted in. Now we just gotta put our plugs back together here. How did that go? Figure out how these plugs go together like that. Oh, like that. There we go. Huh.
You're just a mega genius.
Hey, one job almost completed there. If we can get it plugged back in. Guess you gotta plug one in at a time. Oh, it just plugs in good. You gotta give it a firm plug in there. There we go. That bolt right there, that dude, we gotta loosen that up. That's the clamp that's actually holding this distributor in. Hoping I can get a dang wrench in there. It don't look like I could get a socket in there at all. See that straight part on this plate there? I'm gonna take my marker, and that's how I'm planning on marking this. So we're gonna hold our marker. It's pretty much the same shape, I believe, all the way around. Pretty sure. Okay, I'm gonna do that where that part is kind of flat there, where it's not an angle. I'm gonna use that part there, and we're just gonna move it up kind of like that. which, shit, kind of like that. There we go. So it's pointing right towards that. That should get us very, very close. Like so. That's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do that. That one ain't gonna work. That side ain't gonna work near as good, but still a reference though. Still a pretty good reference there. Just having that plate straight towards that line, even though it's ugly. And then this guy here, kind of the center there, it's gonna be right towards that. Oh, right towards that wiring harness there. So that's aiming right towards that there. That line there. So I was just putting my mark on the top of that like that. Just marking that. Just kind of make sure we get it there. Sticking a wrench down in here and turning that nut there is seeming quite impossible. Even a socket is looking somewhat impossible to get way down there. I don't know, I'm gonna do a little research real quick and see if I should just run and go grab a tool somewhere, maybe advance or something. That might be what I'm gonna do, but then I'm gonna come back and it's probably gonna be closer to dark. I don't even know what time it is, but I can tell the sun is not in the middle anymore, it's over that way, like evening. So, called two-part stores. Nobody has the wrench for this freaking distributor, and there is such thing as distributor wrenches.
What is what's the difference?
I'm about to show you. This is just an old normal wrench right here, and this is what a distributor wrench sort of looks like.
Oh gosh.
When I make it a distributor wrench.
Oh Lord.
Oh, I might need something heavy.
Oh gosh.
Hopefully we don't break it.
Yeah, please don't.
But I don't have a...
Oh gosh.
I guess I do have a vise in the back. Golly. Dude, I swear I'm not set up for mechanic work right now.
That is not going to work.
It ain't, is it?
Oh gosh.
It's bending. It's bending a little bit. Maybe I should torch it. Would that work? Heat it up a little? Or would that just break it?
I mean, I think that's the point of steel. You know what I mean?
It broke.
Well.
But I think it still might work.
Let's see if this thing still works.
I was telling Holly if it would have just broke a little shorter, it'd have been perfect.
Yeah.
But it broke a little long. And I was actually trying to bend it right there where that square starts. So it'd be that short. Oh, let me get in here without pulling a hamstring in my ball sack.
God.
So this is the idea right here.
Okay, that's the idea.
Put a wrench in there like that and turn it. But I have a feeling it's too long. Oh yeah, that's going to work.
Oh, come on.
Oh, see, I got it in there. It is in there. It's on the nut. So all I have to do is turn it with the pliers. Ugh. Good thing I brought my magnet. But my wrench actually did work, y'all. We just got it loose with this little stubby dubby. It's loose. See, look, we can turn this thing now. Look at that.
Dang.
So now I got to get this nut out with my fingers, and we should be able to tighten it right back up with this. It really wasn't that tight, actually. So, look at that.
Dang.
Now,
wow.
See if this magnet here will pick up a bracket. Oh yeah, and then there's our bracket. How about that?
Impressive.
We'll wipe that off. Now I gotta wipe around it because I'm scared to pull the distributor out without cleaning some of the stuff around it. Would have been smart to have this thing parked closer to the air compressor. Guess I can bring the blower over here.
Let's fill it up. Woo. So here's the Electric Restore Studio, cat house, and visitors. This one I had to cut.
Did you just build a train?
Yep. Pretty much.
Oh! The train has been derailed.
Yeah, my dad won't give me a dang zip tie.
Alright, we got a little cleaner around that hole. I'm trying to stop this stuff once I pull this distributor out. I'm trying to stop a lot of stuff from actually falling inside the dang motor, so. Get around the back there some. I asked my son to bring me my hand blower, and he told me to go F myself.
Don't say that, because someone's going to say, oh my God, he told him to go F himself. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. At the worst case scenario, he ignored you.
I'm just saying he might as well. Might as well have.
Might as well have, but did not.
Alright, this is looking a lot better now. Little air blower.
That thing is rad.
Country girl hooked it up with.
That thing is rad. Like, that is a powerful little dude.
It is pretty powerful. I mostly use it for the fire pit, but it comes in handy for other stuff too. Like cooling off. Oh yeah. Some of these old fragile plugs. That looks like that would be easy to replace if you wanted to, because this short, that just goes over here to the ignition coil there. This is a plug in the main wiring harness here. Pop that off there. Tuck it back here maybe. So as we pull this up, this thing should turn a little bit like that. That turned quite a bit. So when I put the next one in, it looks like I'm gonna need the rotor button here to be pointing right towards this dipstick tube right here. Let's take this thing out and stop playing around. Here we go. She's out. That's it right there. Old distributor. And the gear. And there's our hole that it came out of. Right there where that bolt goes that clamps it down. Alright, so look at this. They look identical. Plates look exactly the same under here. Pretty much same exact shape. So I should be able to just line this new one right back up exactly the way the old one was. Take this sticker off here, or this protector off, and I need to take this cap off. Alright, we got the cap off. Looking all brand spanking new and clean. Now I was noticing the old one is that looks like it was plastic or rubber. And this one right here, that was looking like it's metal. But the caps look, the rotors look the same, just different colors. Okay. guess I should turn this like that. Turn that there. That was about right there. Let's see if we can work this back in there. This is the problem we're having right here. See, this gear has got to line up with the gear down there on the oil pump. So that's the problem I'm having. So this, see that turns pretty much with the rotor button. But you also have these gears that have to go in a certain way also. So that's the problem right here, trying to get this gear in the right place. I added a little bit of grease on the end of this where that little gear is for the oil pump, and I added some grease on here because I'm having a little trouble getting this thing to seat in there. So I used just some grease that I have that I use for my chainsaw bars. I don't think it really matters exactly what kind of grease you use. That's just what I had on hand that I could get to. That's what I did. It looks like I'm just struggling because this thing is not wanting to slip in place. So let's try it with some grease, because this is getting to be annoying. Alright, I think it's in there. It looks like it's just a tad bit off from the old one. I just had to sit there and play with that thing for quite a bit, but greased it up a little and that made it fall in there. And it looks seated down there. It looks like it's all the way down. I'm thinking I'm going with that because that looks pretty dang close to pointing at my line there. I just have to make sure that we're lined up here to our dot, tighten that down, and put the cap back on. And it looks like I got me some timing wrenches now for some distributor wrenches now. Looks like both halves actually are working great. I'm actually using the longer one. I'm coming in through this side and using the longer one. So that is actually really cool. Plug this thing back up. Put her cap back on, plug her wires in. Pretty tight to this thing. All right. That one's going to go to the ignition coil. Right there. Bam. And that's our corner. Sounded like the timing was off just a tad bit there. The good news is this thing is running. And I mean that, when I give it gas, that's way better than it was. It's not stalling at all. Just kind of idling, kind of rough. So the timing's definitely off a little, but the throttle response is great. That's better than it's been in a long time there. All right, so we got a timing light. We have this thing right here wrapped around the number 1 spark plug wire. And we hooked up to the battery over here. Our gauge thing looks like it's back here. I don't know if you'll be able to see that through this phone, if my phone will focus on it or not, but it's kind of that thing right down there with the teeth on it. And then we have our harmonic balancer down there that's gonna spin, and hopefully I'll be able to see the mark on that thing where it shows dead center. I'm about to find out. It's about the only way I know to find out is turn this thing on, turn on the light and the timing light, and see if it works. But there should be a permanent like mark in there that you can see. So then we'll start playing with the timing and see if we can get this thing on point. See the timing blinking. What's up? Every time I hear that in the motor, that vibration, every time I hear that, I see the timing mark where it's off, about that far. That sounds perfect. That sounds great. That's tight. I mean, that seems perfect. Sounds great. I'm about to put some brand new spark plugs in here, some NGKs. That sounds better than this thing has sounded in quite a while. No hesitation. Or you use some pliers. I actually have some spark plug wire removers somewhere with the rubber coating. If you're kind of easy on it, you grab it in the right spot. You won't mess it up if you use pliers or you use a screwdriver. That looks great. Those still look good. And they haven't been on the, they haven't been touching the motor since I put all these separators on them. So hopefully the wires are good for a little while. I didn't even realize I had that in my door. Sweet. I was actually smart last time I did this, I guess. 5/8 spark plug wrench. That don't look bad at all. Those spark plugs ain't bad. Number 1. Bottom motor's hot just from the dang second that I had it running. I'm freaking sweating. All right, now we're just gonna take us some anti-seize. We're just gonna put just a dab on there, just on one spot, bam, just like that. That's all we're doing. Just one little spot there. And we're gonna twist that right back in that hole. To prevent cross-threading, you wanna screw the spark plug in as far as possible, just by hand. There you go. There we go. All right. And this socket's annoying. I don't want that rubber boot to keep coming out on me. So I'm gonna use this one that looks actually pretty cool. And I think it might be magnetized. So we're gonna start using that one. But that plug is in. Number one down. That one is in there. Let's do that 7 more times. All right. Get that wire out the way. One awesome thing about these flexible head ratchets, make your life quite a bit easier. All right, number 2. Looks like it's definitely been burned a little bit. Oh yeah, that's magnetized pretty good there. That's how we like it. All right, put us a dab of anti-seize. There's a dot. Wow, that metal plate is super annoying. Manifold. Manifold's got this heat shield on it. There we go. Just a good snug on it. Until it's kind of feel it snap on. There we go. All right. Usually when you snap them on, they're pretty hard to pull off. So that's the best way to make sure they're on, is to try to take it back off by hand, because I've actually been taking them off with pliers. All right, let's do this one. One more. We are on our last one. This side was a lot easier. I'll show you why in a minute after I change this one. But this one was definitely easier to get to than that other side. There we go. That is number 8. Got them V-powers, boy. Alright. I am glad to get this accomplished. Maybe this thing will keep on running for a while longer. Before I have to find a motor for this thing. This is a V8 5.7 liter 350. It's been a great motor for a very long time. When this truck was new, this thing would run. It still will, but I don't push it at all. I drive this thing like a grandpa. No offense to the grandpas out there, but I drive this thing quite slow and I take it very easy on it, trying to get all the life out of it that I can until I can do something else with it. All right, that's it. That is it. All right, the driver's side over here, as you can see, you have the steering, whatever you want to call that, shaft. Steering column, shaft, whatever there. That thing is literally in the way of every spark plug on this side of the engine here. You have to work around that, which is kind of why I have this. Normally on most cars you could just use a socket to take your spark plug out, but then you have this metal heat shield around your manifold here, so that kind of stops your ratchet here hitting there from going all the way in. So you have to have at least a little bit of extension to keep your ratchet from hitting that. So same back there. So that's kind of what the frustration was, and that's why I had this in the door of the truck. I forgot I had that in the door from the last time I did them, which I'm guessing was a couple years ago. And this side, as you can see, there is nothing in the way over on this side, so that made that a lot easier. Nothing in the way at all here. It just fits right in all of these. But you still have your metal shield. I don't know why that one is different from the others. Yeah, that one's different than the other three. I'm not sure what's up with that, but same thing on this. You got that metal plate there stopping you, so you have to use a little bit of an extension. This one, I mean, I'm guessing you do also. Should be good to roll for a while. How about that? Oh yeah, I like it. Oh, that's one thing I need to check too. I think I have a leaky manifold. Kind of hear that. Can you hear that noise? That's what a manifold leak sounds like, I guess. Or I could have a hole in the exhaust somewhere, but I think it's a manifold leak. I hadn't really inspected it a whole lot, honestly. We're busy, man, building and milling and all kinds of crazy stuff. I ain't been able to really give this thing all the attention that I would like to, but I'm trying to give it some attention. So I don't know, maybe I'm gonna hunt down this leak soon. I know I want to change the fluid in the back, the rear, in the axle, whatever, the rear axle in the back. I want to change the oil in that, change the motor oil. I don't remember ever changing the oil in the differential. So I definitely need to do the rear axle. Actually, in storage, I actually have a brand new chrome cover for it. I don't have it here. So I don't know if I'll have that when I do the rear axle or not. Probably not, because I need to put some new oil in it, because I've never done that. And when I take this next trip to storage, I actually want new oil in there. Changing the distributor and the ignition coil seems to have done the job. It started up really easy, so hopefully it continues to do that. And it seems like it's riding a lot better, so it'll be good for a while longer. Hopefully.